Buenas tardes, estimado auditorio de Mediatelecom. Ahora nos encontramos en la ciudad de Dubái, en los Emiratos Árabes Unidos, para participar en la reunión de la Unión Internacional de Telecomunicaciones 2012. Esta reunión la preside el doctor Hamadoun Touré, que se encuentra ahora con nosotros y con quien tenemos el gusto de conversar. Thank you very much, Dr. Touré.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thank you. Dr. Touré, you've been elected in 2007 as a Secretary General, and you've been re-elected in 2010 for a second four-year term. So that means that you've been in this position for more than 5 years, and you'll be 2 more years. You've been a witness and a key role player of the dramatic transformations of the world. Can you elaborate about this, and can you tell us about the principles and the fundamental trends for the next 5 years?
Well, I'm excited because we are going through tremendous times. The pace of change is unbelievable. The only thing that does not change is change itself. Our sector has been growing at a phenomenal rate, and it is a tool for all the other sectors to evolve as well. Today, we're not looking at ICT just as a technology. It is an enabler for all the other sectors. And the fundamental growth that has been seen and the impact of ICT on the other sector through health, e-health. Look at the number of lives that can be saved through ICT, through education, sharing of knowledge. The industry has been really growing, and due to a number of factors. One, the vision first. The vision has been put in place by a number of governments. The leaders have the obligation, and it's their duty to dream big for their people and put it into vision. That vision has been put into a legal and regulatory framework. There is a good competition in this arena. The level playing field is good. That's why this week we're meeting here in Dubai at Telecom 2012. It is an opportunity for networking and for exchange of experiences, best practices, good and bad experiences, so that people don't make the same mistake twice or don't reinvent something that has been invented. We're in the information society today. What a great phenomenon. The industry has been able to bring government and private sector and the consumer groups all together, and the regulatory authorities. So by bringing all the players together, we're able really to make win-win. And we've seen the success that have happened even in our host country here in Dubai. You see development all around you. You see ICT all around you. And even in the least developed countries, where you may not see skyscrapers like you see here in Dubai, there is something that is happening in the information and communication technology field. This is very reassuring for me.
Understanding this global transformation, what did you mean this international meeting for you in order that offering a platform to the key actors of the ITC community in order to debate, network, and share knowledge about telecommunications?
We are ITU. We are proud of being not only the oldest organization of the United Nations family of 147 years this year we celebrated, but also the unique composition of our membership. 193 member states, over 700 private companies, over 50 universities. This is a type of partnership that you don't see anywhere else. And coming together here in the ITU Telecom World, we again give a unique platform for all of the key players to debate on the key issues for ways forward. Together here, we're shaping the future. And the future generations are here, the younger generations are here also to take part of that. So this is really a success story, an organization where you have all the stakeholders coming together, but where also they also take their decisions on a consensus basis, making sure that there's no loser. Everyone comes out of it winner. The meeting that will take place this week here is gathering presidents, heads of states, vice president, and prime ministers, but also CEOs of key industry companies. But also we have users groups and regulatory authorities. They all come together. Each of them has a role to play. The roles are different but complementary, and this is the beauty of it. We are providing the platform for discussion here, platform for cooperation. A number of deals will be made here, announcements of acquisitions, mergers, and others that are taking place this week here in Dubai.
You mentioned in your opening remarks that we are just in front of a brave new broadband world, and the only way to get into it is through sharing a common vision and assuring international cooperation. What are the challenges, or the main challenges of this international cooperation and collective creative thinking in order for deploying broadband and assuring global connectivity?
There are a number of areas where there is a good agreement on how to move forward. Areas such as broadband deployment, policy. The difficulties are sometimes in the content, which is not really related to ITU, but there is a lot of lack of trust among some of the players that we have to deal with. And ITU has been able to actually use its culture, common culture, and historic culture into bringing players to talk about it. In areas such as cybersecurity, for instance, we see a lot of reluctance from people to work with one another. Of course, it's natural in security. You'll never be able to leave your security in the hands of somebody else. But we need to make sure that there is a minimum trust. This is why in those difficult and sensitive issues, we have been able to bring in what I call the common denominators. When I was assigned to implement trust in the cyberspace, which is cybersecurity on another world, we faced a lot of difficulties in people agreeing to work together, even sometime in defining what is a crime. Now, I have to find a common denominator: children, protecting children in the cyberspace. That's why I created the initiative called COP, Child Online Protection. And guess what? This is our common denominator. Children are the biggest users of the net. They are the same everywhere. They have the same right everywhere. A crime against children is a crime everywhere. And therefore, we are able to walk as we're talking. So we do something concretely, because we can spend endless time in conference rooms debating the definition of a crime, any type of crime, while the criminals are working. It's about time we start doing something concrete, and we'll work in a collaborative manner. This can be done only by a global cooperation. It's a global phenomenon. You can only have global responses, and that's why ITU again plays its role of having the intergovernmental approach, and also the private sector being part of it. Because if we have to do anything in cybersecurity, for instance, we have to make sure that we have agreement of all our 193 member states, but also all private sector members of ITU and non-sector members of ITU alike. They all should be involved, because security is embedded in the softwares that are designing today. Security should be embedded in the infrastructure there and the networks they are building, and therefore it is very important that they take part of it. Moreover, the consumer groups, the users, we cannot talk about their security without them being part of it, and they have to be confident, because they are the biggest stakeholder of it, and they need to be part of it so that there will be real confidence. So this has been the approach that we've been taking, and it's been at least working.
You just mentioned the cooperation between public and private sector. Would you send a message to the emerging countries to develop a broadband plan and can constitute a broadband commission in order to put it in context all these subjects?
Yeah, in order to really achieve real development, you need to have a plan and execute it. And the National Broadband Plan is necessary. This is why we created the Broadband Commission for Digital Development in 2010. And we joined together with other agencies and also private sector. There were 50 commissioners are part of this. The reason was that we were trying to make sure that we help developing countries to make sure that they meet their Millennium Development Goals. Among the 8 goals of the MDGs, the goal number 8, which is dealing with partnerships, is the one likely to be met ahead of time. How about using that as a tool to help accelerate for meeting the other goals, e-health, e-education, e-commerce, you name it. Lately, just 2 weeks ago, I was in New York, and Professor Jeffrey Sachs made a presentation on the Millennium Villages. To cure malaria, all you need by use of ICTs for testing malaria, you can. It costs less than 80 cents, and the cure for malaria is also 80 cents. And it is 100% curable if it is diagnosed within the first 24 hours. We can save 700,000 lives through this. Through education, you will never be able to meet the goals in education without using e-facilities. E-education will be tools so that knowledge will be shared. And those are great opportunities that we are creating. And we need to do it together. Developing countries have the same opportunity as developed countries in this field. All they need is the right policy. Private sector will come in and invest, and they will make profits, of course, but it's okay. They have to understand that making profit from private sector point of view is not a crime. And as long as they are creating new jobs, they are giving services and applications, they are making people's life better. And that's really the goodies that we're getting from ICT today. And I must say that in ITU, we have this very great tradition of having our development sector not being a gateway for developing countries alone. Developing countries all come and contribute because they are dealing with new technologies that are new to all of them. Some of the problems they are facing them at the same time, developing countries. And the engine of this is human brain. That is the one natural resource that is equally distributed everywhere. No nation, race, or culture has more or less of that. And therefore, you can find innovative solutions everywhere. Look at some of the examples of new applications in Africa. The M-Pesa, mobile banking, was an African solution to African problems. Those who want to transfer a very little amounts of money, $10, $20, for which the current banking system is not fit for. They have come with this application, and it works. Now it's being exported. For the first time, you've seen services conceived, implemented in Africa, and then exported to others. This is true in every developing country. It is possible. And therefore, we're giving the right opportunity to have the right level playing field for everyone. We need good governance for that, which means a good environment for investment, and governments to put in place national services and applications that will be that will trigger the demand again for private sector to continue to evolve. So with the collaboration we have inside the ITU, I'm pretty much satisfied with the ways forward. And I look to a future where people from all walks of life will be able to exercise their full right of being citizens of this planet. As simple as that. Free citizens of this planet who can access information, use it, create information, and share it. Those are the prerequisites for us to go from the information society to the knowledge society. And this has to be done no matter your circumstances. It has to be affordable. It has to be secure as well. You will never have freedom if not secure. if anybody can steal your identity, you're not free. And if your privacy is not preserved, no matter where you are, you are not free. And those are prerequisites to enter us in that knowledge society, which will be a much better society. And many innovations will come into that. Things that we have never imagined will be coming.
Following this context, how would you summarize the human and social context of the telecommunications?
Well, we've all seen the social impact. We've seen the social impact through social media. We've seen the impact lately through the Arab Spring. We've seen how much information is important, how much communication is important, and it's important. It's a very important, I would say, weapon in the hands of the people to fight for their freedom and the freedom of their nations. And if the governments take it away from them, it becomes a bomb in the hand of the government ready to explode anytime. And it did explode in the hand of some of the government who try to stop the freedom of their people. And this is what we see. This is a phenomenon that we are entering into. And we are now at the age where nobody can no longer hide. Nobody can no longer suppress the freedom of the people. And therefore, we hope that it's valid for all leaders, and they will work in the country to make sure that this technology is made available for good use. Another very important element for government, another good reason, an incentive for them, is that this is the industry that has created more jobs than any other industry. 2/3 of the new jobs are created in the ICT sector for the past 5 years. And it's still tremendous opportunities. We have to make use of it and make sure that our citizens, especially the younger generations who are the biggest users of it, can have that opportunity to create jobs. The Arab Spring, I said it in March during the Doha conference of Connect Arab, if those youngsters who made the revolutions because they were not working, if they're still out of job in the next 6 months, they're going to still make new revolutions. Our challenge is to start helping them. It's not for the sake of the governments, it's for the sake of those same people that we want to preserve.
And finally, Dr. Touré, I mean, what could be different in this meeting from the ITU meetings that had been held in the past?
Well, as you can see, we are seeing each other more frequently. It's once a year now. It used to be 3 years. My assessment at the last plenipotentiary conference is that telecom events is taking place in 3 years' time. Just too long for our industry that is going so fast. Even 1 year is not enough. Of course, we've changed the format. Less exhibition, more national pavilions, bringing national applications together, because companies privately are showcasing on a daily basis on some other means, especially the internet, and therefore they did not to come on the show floor here. But we are more forum centric. You see the level of the debates here and the level of participation. So many heads of states and governments, and so many heads of industry, and the regulatory authorities are also present. So we are really able to brainstorm here, shape the future together, and go back and move forward. Information will be shared here this week. Information is the only thing when you share it, it multiplies. Anything else when you share it is divided. That's the power of information, and that's the power of networking we'll be having here. We'll also have, during ITU Telecom World here this week, a number of big announcements by major corporations of alliance acquisitions or new services and applications that they are doing. Governments will be able to also tell us some of the things that they are doing to ensure that their citizens are much better treated, and those lessons will be learned by others so that they don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Touré.
Well, I would like to thank Mediatelecom for participating in the ITU Telecom World. Mediatelecom is a very strong partner of ITU, and we appreciate it. Thank you.